Pluribus opens with a mysterious signal from deep space. At a research facility resembling the Goldstone Deep Space Communications Complex, a group of astronomers detect an extraterrestrial microwave pulse repeating every 78 seconds. The signal's rhythmic sequence resembles Morse code, but one scientist realizes it's not language at all. It's RNA. Intrigued, the team converts the RNA into DNA using reverse transcriptase, hoping to uncover its meaning. As their experiment begins, a countdown clock appears on screen, marking 71 days, 13 hours, 21 minutes until an unknown event. The DNA solution is injected into laboratory rats, and the scientists await results. The story shifts to Carol, a successful novelist, attending a Dallas book reading alongside her manager and partner Helen. Carol greets fans warmly, but when she's alone afterward, her public enthusiasm fades. Beneath her friendly exterior lies an exhaustion and resentment toward her fame. She confides her frustration to Helen during their ride, hinting at a strained but affectionate relationship between them. The timer flashes forward to 29 days and 23 hours remaining. At the U.S. Army Medical Research Institute of Infectious Diseases in Maryland, scientists Jen and Dee arrive for work, chatting casually with receptionist Mel about their stalled research on the mysterious RNA. Their test subjects, the injected mice, have shown no progress, and they prepare to euthanize them. But before they can, they discover one of the mice apparently dead. Jen inspects it and realizes its heart is still racing despite its immobility. Suddenly, the mouse springs to life and bites her hand through a thin glove. While Jen disinfects the wound, Dee notices her beginning to convulse violently. He rushes to help her through the lab's decontamination chamber, but her spasms stop abruptly. When Jen emerges, something is disturbingly different. She approaches Mel at the reception desk and kisses him. Dee, similarly transformed, kisses a janitor. Both victims begin convulsing in turn, the infection spreading through intimate contact. Soon, all four are united in eerie calm, filling petri dishes with saliva as if preparing to replicate the contagion. In a grotesque act of contamination, Jen licks the communal donuts at reception, symbolizing how quickly the infection will escape containment. The countdown then nears its end. 3 hours and 6 minutes left. Carol and Helen arrive home in Albuquerque, rearranging Carol's novels in a bookstore to ensure they're more visible before stopping at a bar for a drink. Carol orders alcohol, while Helen stays sober to drive. Their conversation about Carol's next project is interrupted by television news announcing airport closures, a warning everyone in the bar ignores. Outside, Carol notices airplanes forming strange parallel patterns across the sky. A moment later, chaos erupts. A man leaving the bar crashes his truck and Helen suddenly collapses. Carol rushes to help, but her phone shatters during the fall. Inside the bar, she finds everyone convulsing violently. Emergency lines are dead. Desperate, Carol decides to drive Helen to a hospital, but her rental car's breathalyzer prevents her from starting it. She commandeers the unconscious driver's truck, loads Helen in the back, and speeds away. Passing a crashed police car, she realizes the outbreak is everywhere. The city skyline is aflame. At the hospital, doctors and patients are convulsing, overtaken by the same infection. Carol struggles alone to get Helen onto a stretcher, but Helen dies before she can help her. As Carol stands over Helen's body, she notices the infected have stopped convulsing and are eerily still. When she calls out for help, a hospital orderly approaches, then kisses her. Others join, all speaking in a unified voice, insisting they just want to help. Horrified, Carol escapes, defending Helen's body from strangers trying to take it. She drives home through a single, unbroken sequence of destruction, finding her neighborhood also infected. The children next door eerily tell her where to find her spare key, showing that the hive already knows her routines. She drags Helen's body inside, locks the doors, and turns on the TV for answers. Every channel is chaotic until she lands on C-SPAN, where a silent man stands at the White House press podium. The ticker below begins addressing her directly, instructing Carol to call a displayed number. When she does, the man, introducing himself as Davis Taffler, calmly explains the unthinkable truth. Helen didn't die from the virus, but from her head injury. Carol, however, is unique. She is immune to this virus. Her immunity has been noticed across the hive's global network of shared consciousness. Tafler reveals that only 12 uninfected humans remain. The rest of humanity is now linked through a single hive mind that communicates, absorbs memories, and acts in perfect synchrony. Tafler explains that the virus, a mind virus transmitted through saliva, doesn't simply kill. It merges individual minds into a collective entity. Each infected person's memories are uploaded to the hive, which learns and adapts, but it cannot read uninfected minds. To maintain order, the hive intends to bring every remaining human under its control. Carol, for now, is being protected and studied until they can discover how to convert her. He adds that this may not be an alien invasion at all. The RNA signal could be a message from another civilization, or even from future humans trying to guide evolution. The episode closes as the countdown reappears. The timer now reads 1 hour, but instead of counting down, it begins to count up, signaling that whatever was coming has already begun. Next, we see a global aftermath. The hive mind takeover is in motion. In Morocco and beyond, the networks of transformed humans continue to operate in synchrony, controlled by the collective. We see that vessels, once individual humans, are now parts of an immense system that shares memory, action, and intent. The counter on screen shows the time since the conversion began, 11 hours, 26 minutes. Back in Albuquerque, our protagonist Carol wakes up with a hangover and heavy heart. She attempts to bury her partner and manager Helen in the backyard, but the moment is interrupted by the arrival of Zosia. Zosia is sent by the hive, via monitoring by a drone, to check on Carol, worried she may succumb to heat or despair. Carol recoils at the offer of water, suspecting it might be a means of infection, but reluctantly accepts Zosia's help. Carol realizes Zosia's role. The hive has chosen someone who resembles a character from her fiction to gain her trust and influence her emotions. Carol confronts Zosia, gets angry, and the hive momentarily glitches under her emotional outburst. Next, Carol drives into town and comes across a hive-controlled construction crew stuck in their task. She intervenes to help, but the system stabilizes and resumes control. Back home, Zosia brings tools to assist the grave digging. Carol calls the hive hotline to ask for Zosia's presence. Zosia returns, and Carol asks if her outburst caused the glitch. Zosia affirms it did, and that the hive is unaccustomed to personal, emotional disruption. Zosia reveals that Carol's loud distress has caused damage on a large scale. Millions of vessels died when the hive faltered. Carol vomits and struggles with the weight of that truth. Later, Carol arranges a meeting. She will join 5 of the 12 known survivors who speak English. The meeting is to be held in Bilbao, chosen by the hive. The hive allows the meeting, but warns Carol that while it currently protects her, it cannot guarantee her safety should a survivor turn against her. In the meeting aboard a high-tech plane provided by the hive, Carol addresses the group. She wants ideas to stop the hive and restore autonomy. But the survivors resist. Many are comfortable with the new status quo. Kumba, especially, enjoys the freedom to fulfill desires that the hive grants. He argues that the hive ended discrimination and cruelty. Carol counters by drawing attention to the human cost: loss of autonomy, identity erased, and the vessel count. Zosia tells Carol the official casualty number is more than 886 million. On the other hand, her own emotional outburst caused 11 million deaths of vessels, which Carol uses to argue from her own culpability and complexity. Confrontation escalates when Carol realizes the survivors are not willing to fight. She tries to show Laxmi that her son is not truly hers, but a vessel containing humanity's memories, not her child's continuity. The argument ends with Carol walking away, fainting from intoxication and emotional exhaustion. Meanwhile, Zosia reports the survivors have scattered except for Kumba. He requests Carol's permission to take Zosia as a companion as he leaves for Las Vegas. This request infuriates Carol. She sees it as exploitation, proof the hive system enables such dynamics. She poses the choice to the hive: Zosia stays with Carol or goes with Kumba. In the final act, Carol boards a plane to return to Albuquerque, while Kumba boards another for Las Vegas with Zosia. In the surprising closing moment, Carol deboards her own flight and stops the other plane from leaving.